RJ, let's start with you. Let's talk about the movie. For those who are just discovering it, what can people expect from this movie? What's it about?
Well, you can expect a lawnmower and uh well no, I mean it's yeah, so well first and foremost, what to expect this I mean the script itself was amazing and that's what got everybody on this and to get Mel to come out and actually do, a run of show on a film is it says a lot that this script got him here and it's just essentially it's a story about what a father wouldn't do to say protect his daughter from the world, right? And just then Shelley's character comes dropping in on the river, hurt, wounded, and a damsel in distress, and then they have to come and take her in, and then they realize what they brought into their house is more trouble. So essentially, it's almost like, if you accidentally drop somebody into Rambo's house, right, not knowing who he really is, and then come to go mess with this girl, and don't realize what's going to come, that's what happens. And Mel brings it to him.
Mhm.
He essentially just saves these women, and he does the right thing in the end, and he almost sacrifices himself for it. So it's just a great story for a father to watch this kind of stuff because it's what I would do for my children too. So I mean, I don't really know how to use a gun, so but it's just a great story. It's a really good script, and the two most important things for us is casting and locations when you have a good script like this. And I think we nailed that out of the park on this one for sure.
That's actually a really great segue because I want to know more about the actors. And Shelley, I'll direct this at you first, because I'm interested in chemistry and working with Mel and Sophia and the cast. Talk to me about your experience with the act with your role here and with the actors.
Well, it was really easy. As Raja said, like, I mean, they hired the best people. And yeah, it felt really natural. I felt, well, luckily for me, Sophia looks a lot like my niece, and who I feel very protective of her. And that originally was like, oh wow, I feel like I know her. And then we really started to bond, and Mel was very amazing to work with. And it just, I don't know, it kind of felt, it just, I don't really know how to, it just felt really natural. I felt protective of Sophia. I felt weary, well, sorry, protective over Tag, and like weary over Beaudry. And Raja and I discussed kind of playing that, like, yes, I wake up to a family that's taking care of me, but I don't really know the dynamic between Beaudry and Tag. And so we played a lot with like the hesitation of, wait, can I trust these people? And then there's a turn. And then that was fun to be able to play really guarded. And then I'm desperate for these people to help me, which was hard for me to play. I hate asking for help in real life, which is one of the reasons I really loved this role for me, because I felt like it would be a challenge. And also going back to what Raja was saying, like my character going into this family that has a great dynamic, they're doing fine. My real life nickname is Hurricane. I'm from Louisiana, and my stepbrother, he's like, yeah, you come in like a hurricane, you spin around and you leave a mess. And so I kind of related to January in that way.
hmm Yeah, really good insight there. And yeah, Raj, I'm gonna direct the question to you now because what really struck me about this movie is the chemistry between all the characters. And so from a director's perspective, talk to me about helping make that happen and helping curate that.
Well, be honest, there's always a little bit of luck in this, right? In
Hmm
casting and timing. And I'll tell you, it was exactly what Shelley said. It was everybody just kind of came. I purposely set up a dinner with our leads before we started shooting, and I brought Brandon Cox, our DP, who's a
We
visionary.
love him, obsessed.
He's so amazing, and
He's
Sophia
great.
loved Brandon, and it was great because it's always good to have the actors feel really comfortable with our DP. And from the minute we all just kind of went to dinner, and Mel, Sophia, and Shelley, and Brandon, we all just hit it off. And from that night, I'm telling you, that dinner started it. From that night on, it was just, honestly, when you're going through the work and you're doing long days and you're working very hard, and when you have off days and the actors actually still want to go hang out and have dinner after that, it's a sign that you guys have a great chemistry and things are working, right? Because there's a lot
hmm
of times that doesn't happen. So, just everybody just did their role. And for me, as a child actor first, right? And then just realizing at 21, I just want to be behind the scenes. I played the young Gary Sinise in a movie. And I was like, that's the last, because I've been getting that my whole life. I was like, you look like the young Gary Sinise. And I was like, okay. So I finally did it. And then I was done with acting. And I went behind the scenes. And So I know how as an actor first, I just know how to kind of communicate with the actors. And for me, it's very much like if I know who I have, I say, hey, this is what I'd like from you, and I let them bring it to life. Like
You
I'm not
really
gonna do
did
that
create
better.
that. Sorry.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
created that safe space. And one thing I love that Raja would do, like we come in for, to block the scene before we start filming it. And he had this, like he'd see me and be like there was this excitement, like he was ready to do another scene with another group of actors. And that really made me even more excited. And that was just a really perfect way to start, prepping the scene. So,
Yeah, well,
No.
just it's also Shelley just always came in and she would just ask the right questions, right? Because she was like just so in her character. And sometimes I'm like, no, Shelley, it's okay. This is okay because this is you right now. Because it's hard to be the victim, right?
it's
You're
hard.
being
It's
beat
hard
up
for
and
me to
bloody
be
and have an eye
the
patch and
victim.
like you're in like pajamas the whole movie on a bed half the time.
Well, hold on. I know they'd come in and be like, "Are you good? You got everything you need?" And I'm like, "Guys, I've been laying in bed for like 3 days straight. Like, I'm warm. People come to me. I don't have to get up." That was the
Yeah.
easy part. But the hard part is playing the victim. I mean, at least for me, like I've spent my whole life, saying wanting to, think I didn't need anyone. So it was really uncomfortable to play, which is always a good sign.
Well, that's interesting, Shelley. You're talking about how difficult it is to like play a victim and be that character, but I'm curious what you want audiences to recognize most about your role in this movie. What do you hope that people notice about your performance here?
About my performance
Hmm.
or hmm. Well, if people have seen me before, they will certainly recognize that this is a different role for me. I'm usually the more of the masculine, and well, what I will say about January, she's not, yes, she's a victim. She's not lacking courage, but she's lacking physical strength. And that also was really hard for me to play. I'm a former dancer, like I do a lot of action stuff, and I don't like to feel weak. I mean, no one does, but um, yeah, I think if you have seen my work before, you'll recognize that this is a different role. I think the movie as a whole, I think I would like for people to walk away with hope. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think that's a good word for the ending of this movie.
Yeah, I thought January really brought the vulnerable side to this film as an audience. You're kind of with her, right? Kind of like what's going to happen next. And then especially, I don't want to give away a few things, but Beaudry finally has to decide what to do with January, right? And his decision to go and do that, thinking that he's actually helping her, it kind of entraps her into something else, and he's got to go save the day again. That's all I'm going to give the audience. But I think as a whole, this movie just really puts you onto a great journey and a great emotional ride of just protecting the ones you love, right? And also, there's the world out there. We see it all day in the news, right? There's a negative side. There's also the positive side, right? Like there's people willing to go and sacrifice themselves for the better cause. And essentially, that's what Mel Gibson did for these two characters in the film.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I want to talk with you a little bit just about the industry. And Shelley, I'll have you weigh in on this one as well. But it's interesting we're seeing Hollywood dumping a lot of money into blockbusters and putting a lot of effort into getting people out to these event films. I feel like smaller budgeted films and more intimate films like Hunting Season kind of get overlooked. What is your perspective on the industry and audience interaction with and engagement with cinema right now?
It's an interesting question. Well, I just think that it's just certain stories it's hard to ever predict, right? But essentially, my kind of motto is like, I want to make a film that the studio should have made, right?
I
Independently.
like that. I
Show
like
them
that a
why they
lot.
didn't, why they need to make it. And first, it was with the script. It won so many script awards out there. So we knew we had a really good special script with the story, and all the actors read it and wanted to do it. Just the characters. Adam Hampton, he's a very visual writer. He's phenomenal. He just really paints the picture. We actually had to edit down descriptions in this story because there was so much of it in the script. We had to like lessen it for the actors who were reading it. But I think that the audiences are just they're always they don't know always what they're looking for until they see it. But all these things are changing with the verticals and all these things going on. But I think this is like the kind of like old school story and a present day story that really kind of, I think, brings people back. I think this should be a huge wide release, to be honest, with everyone watching this film because everybody wants to see Mel Gibson and Shelley and Sophia and doing their thing and Jordy Moya. What a beast he is, man. He plays such the villain. He's so good. And he's such a great collaborator. The guy was so fun to work with. And all the cast, every single piece of cast from the top down was just perfect for the roles. So I think the audience will see that and enjoy the journey on this one. And it's a little violent, but it's also a lot of heart.
Hmm.
And that's what I related to when reading this script the most. I mean, it was really what was underneath all of the darkness. And I cried reading when I read it, and I cried when I watched it. Um, don't like to admit that. I only like to be paid to cry. But no, it really gets me. And Mel and Sophia, they break my heart over and over in the movie. And yeah, in response to your question, I just don't think about those things because I'm not a director and I get paid to abuse myself emotionally. So I just kind of stick to what I do and then leave it up to amazing people like Raja to save the industry.
Well, I think we just, like I said, it's just we just really try to find the right stories that we think are going to hit the worldwide market, not just one. So
Hmm.
when we look at all the projects we're going to do, we essentially look at it as, is this going to be good for the international market and domestic market? And if it does, then it hits the marks. Like internationally, they love action movies and these heartfelt stories. Domestically, the same. So this is why this movie, I believe, you'll see the responses will be worldwide, and it'll be great. I think we're going to get a really big audience off this one.
Yeah, I hope so. It definitely has that
Yeah.
appeal, being that kind of action thriller drama kind of movie. There's kind of a little bit of everything for everyone. And
Gothic. I don't know if that's the darkness, beautiful, suburban or southern towns, and then the darkness underneath.
hmm.
And I'm always infatuated by that. And there's a lot of crime docs about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's always the light
Absolutely.
against the dark. It's always the light, but the light
Yeah.
always wins in the end.
Yeah.
There are, as we've mentioned here, I'll go ahead and close out here. I know we're short on time because you guys have lots to do, but there is a lot of reasons that we've gone over to watch this movie. What do you think is the number one reason people should check out Hunting Season? Raj, we'll start with you.
Just an emotional journey, man. It's like action packed and it's got a lot of heart to it. And it's just one of those stories that it's essentially everything that happens in the story can really happen to you. So it's just, we put these people into an impossible situation and see what happens.
I
Yeah.
think it's timely. I think it's relatable. I mean, it might seem crazy, but when you read the news, it it tracks. And also go see it because I'm in it.
Yep.
It's a great reason, guys. Shelley is great, and Raj does a wonderful job directing this movie and delivering an experience that's absolutely worth checking out. So guys, I
Thank you,
congratulate
Thomas.
you on this movie. I'm excited for more people to see it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reactions and of course seeing what else you guys do with your careers going forward. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.